Hello, everyone. This is Dwayne Hale from the Mothership, and this is the Reseller 6-Pack number 6. Today we'll be talking about business organization. But before we get into that, let's find out what everybody's drinking and how they've done this week. So, who's the rookie? Anyway, we got it. Okay, Tonya, how was your week?
It was good. I had a really good week. I had some good sales. And I am drinking a pina colada tonight.
Sweet. Did you get food, or are you going to be on an empty stomach?
No, he actually finished in time, so I was able to eat a little bit of steak.
All right, let's go to Andy. Andy, the ParrotHead picker. What do you got?
I am drinking the state beer of Wisconsin, even though I live in Illinois. This is New Glarus Spotted Cow. So yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, like I said, state beer. Yeah, I've had a really good week this week. Man, I hope it keeps up because man, it's just been in a drought for the last few. So definitely doing well.
Well, go ahead and talk about your shirt. That's a good pitch right there.
Oh yeah. Actually, this thing here, this wild crazy shirt. I think I showed this in a live video, a pickup I had just the other day. This is a vintage '90s Jams World shirt. I listened to this morning. Sold in about 4 hours for $74.99. So
nice.
Yeah, I was super happy with that. So but yeah, I had it all. I had to wash. I was planning on wearing it on the show tonight, and when we were out doing a 4th of July thing today, I got a sale and I seen it was this thing, and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta wash it again before I mail it off. But I was still gonna wear it on the show. It's wild and crazy. I like this thing.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's really cool. All right, and our Brit friend, Nick, how are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm drinking cider this evening. I've got Magna's pear cider, which is rather tasty.
Nice.
As for sales, eBay's been ticking along. It's been okay. A few really nice sales, but generally quite slow. But I sent a load of really good stuff up to Amazon, so that's kicked in since that arrived at the warehouse. So all in all, pretty good week.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Mr. Garage Flips.
Hey guys, my name is Lonnie. YouTube channel Garage Flips, and tonight I'm drinking Andy Gator again.
Oh, nice.
Which is it's made by Abita Brewing Company, which is in Abita Springs, Louisiana, probably about a 45-minute drive from here. Although I think they sell this, if not nationwide, at least regionally. Because I think Tonya, didn't you have some Abita beer?
Yes, I do.
So yeah,
they sell
really good. Oh, they do? Cool.
Yeah, they do.
8%. 8%. I had to drink so much beer last show. I wanted to get something a little stronger this time. So. And sales have been but while I was mowing the grass just now, I got a dreaded message on eBay. My $200 radio, nothing wrong with it. They just don't like it. They want to return it.
No!
Oh, what, the red one? The flashy red one?
Yeah.
I got a return.
RCA,
no, it's a Motorola.
How can they not like that? How can anyone not like
I don't know.
That's just buyer's remorse is what that is. That's
exactly. Yes.
No, it was, but I had returns turned on. So, as long as they sent it back to me in the same condition they got it in, that's what I signed up for. So, but it still sucks. But,
yeah. Yeah, you'll relist it and sell it again, I'm sure.
Mr. Jory, we're 200 next time.
Yeah,
that's true. How are you, Jory?
Good. I'm drinking Jack Daniel's Jack Apple right now. Got a variety of stuff to drink. And eBay and Amazon have been kind of slow. I've been really busy with local stuff, selling a lot of furniture lately out of some units.
Yeah, on top of building your house, I mean, that can't take any time there.
That takes most of the time. Most of the time today went to that, yeah.
And finally, but definitely not the worst of us, John.
You sound so confident when you said that, Dwayne.
Well,
wow. What a ringing endorsement.
We got to do what you got to do.
I'm drinking good old-fashioned American Budweiser tonight. And
very nice.
I found this in our liquor cabinet. It's like a red, white, and blue Smirnoff. So
Yeah.
if anybody has
I
a
bought some of
sale
those too,
tonight,
the little bitty bottle kind.
oh, nice. Yeah, if anybody has a sale tonight, I'll be doing a shot of that. My sales have been great. I've been killing it with eBay this week. I finally sold that Ouija board.
Oh, wow, that's sold.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh,
Got 150 for it. I probably could have got more for it, but I just wanted to move it. I made a bunch of money on the other stuff I got from that yard sale, so I was pretty happy to take 150 on that.
Man, that's awesome. What'd you pay for that?
I got in a bundle deal, so I got like a huge pile of stuff at a yard sale for $250, and there was like Ataris in it and N64s and all kinds of other stuff. That telephone sign was in that bundle too.
Oh, I'll have to show that in a minute. I'll go grab it. Yeah, I bought a telephone sign from John last week. He shipped it to me. I won it on his auction website. So, dude, I swear to God, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said swear to God, Angie. Angie's in chat. Excuse me. But I was talking about your Ouija board yesterday, man, on my live stream, because I had like a glow in the dark Ouija board I bought, and I mentioned your Ouija board, and then it sold. That's like creepy, like the Ouija boards are, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure.
I would say mention other things because, yeah, your cuddly clown just sold here recently too. So what you got going over there, Lonnie? Anything you mentioned that's kind of hokey is going to sell, right?
Yeah, man. Krilla wants to know what year the Ouija board was. Or John?
He's busy.
Here, can he? It was 30-something, 1930-something.
25. See, we're all good.
25? I don't know. John just
about.
left the room, so.
Is it me or does anyone else just get creeped out by those things? Because I will not pick them up at all. I might be weird. I've even passed them like new sealed in box. I am not bringing them things in my house. I might be just weird, but them things just creep me out.
I don't mind them.
Right, yeah, it doesn't bother me.
I think I said to Lonnie in his hangout that my wife wouldn't let one in the house.
Yeah. Them things just creep me out. I don't know why. I think I've watched too many of them weird movies when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I'm good.
Can I tell a quick Ouija board story real quick? I'll keep it like under 60 seconds, I promise. So
go for it.
Okay, so my parents told me a story when I was probably about 18 years old that said they had been playing around with this Ouija board. And they actually were talking to some kind of spirits. Okay, and they were always damned to hell. They're always in hell. All right, and y'all are gonna think I'm nuts now, but what they did one night was some other family, like an aunt and uncle, went out to eat. So my parents asked this spirit how much was their check. They gave them the number, and when they got back from going out to eat, they said, "How much was your check? How much was the ticket?" They got it to the penny. And I mean, there's no way my parents would lie about this, okay? So
right. I've had something similar happen, yeah.
It's made out of wood, right? And a piece of plastic with a little lens thing in it, and there's not much there, right?
And a demon spirit.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a guy at the end of the conveyor belt that dams every board that goes through. And yep.
Yeah. No, they insert a shattered soul into each box.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's scary how accurate they can be. Like, I don't play with them all the time, but I did one time, and I asked the board, like, what was the name of my first boyfriend? And the friends that I were with at the time, they had no idea. They didn't have any idea. And I am not kidding. It totally spelled out the guy's name. I was freaking out. It was so weird. Yes, it did. Yes,
I've heard so many stories like that, Tonya. I mean, I don't know. I'm a skeptic, so it's hard for me to get into that.
I am too.
See, that's what I said, man. I am not bringing them things in my house. No way.
Yeah.
Well, very good. So why don't we get started on our subject of the night, which is business organization. When I was thinking about what we were going to talk about tonight, I have to follow up with the philosophical communications that we had last week on Nick's channel about the future and everything. I wanted to go a little easier on you guys. So I was thinking, okay, what is something that everybody every reseller has to battle. I mean, everybody has to, deal with, sourcing and resale, returns and stuff like that. But I think one thing that everybody agrees on is that the way you organize your business and the way you organize it in your house and physical, organization is almost something that almost everybody either struggles with or, they're really good with, and they've got their whole system set up. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it, not just physical, but monetary organization and how your business is set up in a legal, whether it's an LLC or a sole proprietorship or whatever you guys in the other countries, I don't know what you guys call them. So we'll get to that though. But I guess I really wanted to start with the physical. I had a couple of comments. I think it was from Nick and Lonnie that said that they don't know anything about this because theirs is all messed up. So they're going to sit back and drink and they're just going to learn. So, but, I think everybody has something that they do that might help everybody else. And that's just kind of what I wanted to bring out. So who wants to start about their, physical? I mean, okay, let's go with John first because he's moving. So he's just moving into a new house. Do you do your eBay at home or is it at your warehouse?
It's all my warehouse. So I'm pretty lucky that I have a warehouse, first off, to organize stuff. So I've got a lot more room to spread things out and get them organized than being at home. I started out of the house and got pretty close to the brink that I thought Whitney was going to divorce me because I had everything in the garage. She's shaking her head, yes. But I've got everything taped off in sections at the warehouse. It's pretty organized. All of our auctions, we've got everything numbered, everything stickered. And then recently for all my eBay stuff, I got some numbered totes. I got them all on racks. So whenever I list an item, I'll put it in the tote and put, a little designation of like A1, A2, and that way I know where it is and I don't lose it.
Yeah, that's very similar to what I do. I don't have totes, but I actually have a fruit room that's right next to my office here. It's for storing, canned fruit and stuff, and that's been designated my storage area. But I have banker's boxes that I label with a designation similar to those back there. Can't even see myself. No, can't see from there. But and yeah, I basically do the same thing. So John is obviously you're a little, I'd say you're higher on the food chain here with this organization stuff because you have employees. So you have multiple people touching multiple things. So I imagine you probably have to have quite a bit more organization based on that than I do because I'm the only one. I can remember where I put things sometimes. But you actually have to think about other people.
Yeah, honestly, that's why I did the totes because I sold something on eBay and I could not find it. I lost it. I felt like an idiot. I'm like, all right, something's got to change. Because I do all my own eBay stuff. My employees don't do it. But as far as, the auction stuff, it touches a lot of different hands. So we've got a system set up, So I've got 3 different sections. They're all about 20 feet by 10 feet. There's shelves. Each section is numbered like items 1 to 50, 51 to 100. And then each item has a sticker with the number on it, and it's in that section. So when it gets put on, they put it in that section, and then once it's sold and they come and pick it up, the guy knows where to find it.
Very nice, very nice. What about you, Jory? You're working on your house, so are you building yourself an inventory room or a garage or?
It used to be in one of the spare bedrooms at the house, but now it's all in a storage unit since I'm at the storage. And
oh yeah, that's true.
I kind of do what John does. The storage unit has shelves A to D on one side, and then boxes 1 to 10 on each shelf. So there'll be A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, so on. And then the other wall is electronic shelf A to D, and that's where I'll put the bigger things like the stereo receivers, larger speakers, things that won't fit in the bin. And then clothing, I just have a t-shirt, jeans, sweatshirts, and coats bin because I don't buy a lot of clothing. And that's about it. And unlisted stuff stays in the storage in the back office. And basically I'll bring a bin in, fill the bin up as I inventory it, take it out, and then list it on eBay.
Very good. How about you, Lonnie?
Okay, so like I said, organization is not really a strong point for me. I saw Candace in the chat a minute ago. So
yes.
I can't lie because she will call me out. I'm probably in front of.
I know my wife's in the chat too, so I'm in trouble.
But no, I have a 10 by 10 storage unit also. And the plan is I bring the stuff in, I process it at home, and it goes straight to storage, right? But the reality is I don't make it to storage as often as I should. I don't list the stuff as fast as I should. So a lot of it gets backlogged at home, you know, and at any given moment, I could have like a ton of shit around the house or not much if I just made a, you know, concerted effort to get everything to storage. Now, once it gets to storage, I don't have bins. I don't have like any type of numbering system. But what I do have is I just have everything categorized. Like, okay, this area is for video game stuff. This area is for board games. This area over here are these totes here. I have T-shirts in. Now, I might have 30 T-shirts, so I'm going to have to flip through them real quick, and they're all labeled on the poly bags. So it might take me a second to flip through it, but it's not bad. And the video games, go over and grab them. I mean, it's not perfect, but it works. I haven't really lost an order in quite a while. I have lost it before, though, when I first started. No, it's been, you know, I did used to have trouble with losing orders, though. I will admit that. And when I first started, my organization was so bad. I didn't even have things like categorized. I just had shit on shelves, you know, and I'd have some stuff in my office. I would have some stuff in a closet. I would have some stuff in the storage unit. And I thought I had it all straight in my head. But then once it gets over 400 items, you're like, and it's been 6 months, all of a sudden shit disappears.
Absolutely. Yeah. You start out, I was going to say the very thing is you start out, when you start out small, it's like, oh, I can remember this. And then as your business grows, you don't realize that, okay, now your memory is full of everything. And then you get to a point where you can't remember anything.
It's funny you say that when you start small. When I first started having consigners for my website and people bringing me stuff, I was just like, oh, okay, you know, this is Bill's and this is John's. And like, I just knew. And real quick, that had to change. Like now I've got like close to 200 consigners. So like everybody's got a code designation and all that stuff. But yeah, it didn't start out like that.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that if I would have starting over in my business, that would have been something that I would have put in place early. Is a good organization system, because you don't realize that how fast it can get out of hand, especially if you work your business hard. You know, like you said, you put in 200, 300, 400 items. If you have a good organization system, it you know, it just grows with you. If you have a bad one, halfway through, you have to, oh shit, I've got to figure out how to organize this. And then you got to scrap everything and figure out, okay, now I got to go back in and put this designation here so I know where it is. So it's much easier to have a good organization system at the beginning of your business than trying to change it halfway through. So what about you, Nick? You've got quite the grumble of stuff behind you. So
yeah, well, Lonnie and I did joke when you came up with this topic that I'm not the person to ask about organization. But I was actually talking to Andrea, my wife, earlier, and when you think about it, we all have to be organized. Otherwise, it would be complete chaos. I just feel quite overwhelmed a lot of the time. I don't know if you guys have seen any of my haul videos, but we buy a lot of stuff, many varied items, and so much stuff comes in, and I'm juggling eBay and Amazon, and it just gets overwhelming. But I have found... particularly with small things. I used to do Lego and nothing but Lego many years ago. So I used to use numbered boxes. I used to have thousands of these racked up on shelves. And I've got little cabinets like this, lettered and numbered for individual Lego parts. And I use that for other small items. So over the years, I've built up ways of coping. But yeah, it can get overwhelming. And you are bang on when you say, if you start off small and you set up a system, and you can grow that with your business, that's the way to do it. And you may start off thinking, I'll remember where everything is. But you are totally right. Once you get to 200 or 300 items, that's it. It's out the window, especially if you're selling similar things.
Absolutely.
I've gone to a shelf and I've sold a BT phone or whatever, and you see one, it must be that, and you just pack it and you ship it out. But you've got another one very similar on the other shelf on the other side of the room, and yeah, you sent the wrong one. So it's so easy to do.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things I was going to say is that, you know, that's why I think FBA was such a blessing for a lot of people. They thought, oh, thank God, I don't have to do any of the organization anymore. I just send it in. It's not a big deal. So I think a lot of people jumped on the FBA bandwagon early, thinking that it was going to solve all their organizational problems. And then, of course, you know, some people like myself, with the FBA, you know, tightening down on some things, I just pulled things out. And then I ended up with a whole bunch of stuff that I had to figure out how to put into my you know, existing system. So I wanted to read a question from Julie. She said, how many items do each of you have listed on eBay right now, and do you have a store? If so, what tier? That's probably a good question to ask now, since we're, you know, just so people understand that, you know, how many. My organization system isn't for 30 items. What about, let's see, who's going to go? Tonya, what about you? We haven't heard much from you. Let's hear yours.
Okay. Well, currently I only have about maybe 350 items in my eBay store, and I am on the second tier. What's it called? I can't even remember.
Premium.
Yeah. So I do that, and I think I do that. How much is that? Is that the $15.95? What's the second level? How much does that one cost?
Like 50
bucks or something.
Okay, never mind. I take it back. I'm on the first level. I'm on the first level. So, and yeah, do you want to talk about my organization now or in a minute?
Yeah. No, that's fine. Go right ahead.
So really the only thing of mine that, again, I kind of fall in the same line with Nic and Lonnie as far as this goes. But the stuff that I do have that's organized really well is my jewelry. I wanted to be to enunciate that right, because some people were teasing me saying I call the jewelry jury. So yeah, all my jewelry is really well organized, and so when I bring stuff home, I process it, and then the bigger items go directly to my storage unit, right? So I try to get the stuff out of the house. So the only items that are in my storage unit are items that are listed.
Nice. That's
Well, that
nice.
makes sense, though. When it's the little things, like I was talking about, I used to do Lego parts, and if you don't have a system for the little things like the jewelry, Lego, postcards, anything like that, rapidly that would become complete chaos.
Yes.
So the bigger stuff in a way is easier because, you know, you can see it, it's big, you're not really going to lose it, but small stuff, it's a nightmare.
Gotcha. How about you, Andy?
Yeah, well, let's see. Currently, I think I'm floating in the 450, 475 range. I've been listed like crazy lately. I was off all week, so I've just been busting butt trying to get as much up as I can. And it's funny that the organization and storage is like the topic this week, because that's actually the other thing that I've been doing. I do a lot of clothes, but I also, right now, I do a lot of hard goods. So when I'm working, all my stuff currently is all on racks, and I have everything all, my current system, or the system I'm working away from, was all on racks. So like all my button front shirt, like short sleeve button front shirts would all be on a rack. All my polo shirts are all on a rack. All my t-shirts are all on a set. So I have a full size basement, thank God. So I have, you know, I have a lot of room. So I have all these racks, but now I'm working on putting everything into totes. So I was out buying, I bought a bunch of shelving, totes, and that's what I was pretty much working on all week, is toting up all my stuff like how kind of everybody else is doing it. And it seems to be pretty good. I use a little different numbering system instead of doing the A1, B1. For me, it's a little bit easier. The number system I'm using is like for t-shirts, I'm doing TS1. For button front shirts, it's like BFS1. Or I mean, for button front short sleeve shirts, it's like BFS for button front short, and then like button front long sleeve is BFL. All my Harley, any of my Harley stuff all goes HD1, HD2. So all my Harley. So that way, if my wife has to pull something, sometimes I can just go tell her, hey, it's in the, you know, it's in the Harley totes, or it's in the t-shirts, it's in the TS totes. I don't have to go, okay, as a t-shirt, you know, I don't have stuff all like commingled and everything else. I'm trying to keep everything all together and then kind of organized that way. Just kind of how I'm doing it. And then all my hard goods, then Oh my God, guys. This is
secret compartment.
This is what I'm working. This is what I'm working on next. So yeah, this is what it's nice that I mean all that stuff's all away, and I have 2 of these big sections like this that are all enclosed. I mean, and the scary thing is you know, I actually know where everything is in there, but if I need her to go pick something, you know, I can't tell her. It's like, it's on this shelf, it's here, it's there. So that's my next area, you know, that I got to get under control. But yeah, so and I'm gonna try and get some of that sort of stuff into shelves and totes as well. But yeah, it's at least it's all out of sight, out of mind. You don't see that when you come down here. But yeah, it's a little crazy.
I've got to brag on Andy just for a little bit. So I watched a video of his where he talked about how he has a spreadsheet for what he's paid for each item, when he sold it, he's down to the penny what his net profit is on everything. So talking about organizing, I mean, he's got it down to a science with that stuff. So bravo on that, Andy.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was just going to bring up is one of the next one was do you guys have a way of controlling your inventory, cost of goods, stuff like that, like a spreadsheet? I do. I have just a handmade Microsoft Excel spreadsheet that I go through, and I do it, you know, by sale. I have an inventory sheet that I inventory everything. I put a number, for example, I do clothing quite a bit. So I'll have once I've inventoried it, I put it in a plastic bag like this and just put a little tag number like that. And then I go in my inventory and I put what bin or box 128 is in. So that when it sells, I can look up 128. It's in box A11. So I'll go right to A11 and do it that way. But I was going to ask you guys, how do you keep track of cost of goods and inventory to make sure you don't, you know, sometimes resell something that you've already sold? Because sometimes that stuff happens with eBay where you relist something you didn't want to relist and don't catch it. So how about you, Jory? How do you have a electronic system?
I use Google spreadsheets for my eBay inventory. I try for my Amazon, but that's where I slack because it's just too easy to scan it and throw it in the box and not inventory what I paid for it. And so I slack there. But yeah, everything I do on eBay, I'll list, and the spreadsheet, it breaks everything down to it. Has the PayPal fee, the eBay fee, what I paid for it, what I charged for shipping, what shipping cost.
Sure.
And
what about you, Nick?
I don't really keep track of what I paid for an individual item and keep all of that separately written down. I've never really seen the point. I obviously keep receipts and keep track of my expenses for tax purposes, but I don't track how much profit I make on an individual item. I just think it would take up time that isn't necessary for me. I need to know how much I'm making per month overall and how much, you know, I'm making and if things are improving long term, but per individual item, I don't track what it's cost me. I don't have any way of recording that. I've never really seen the point. It would be an overwhelming task as well.
Right, I agree.
Well, it would be now for sure because you have so many things. Again, if you would have started at the beginning, it's really not that bad, you know. Although I do notice that you buy an awful lot of stuff at a time. So when you process things, do you look at it? Do you quality control it and then stick it on a shelf? Or, I mean, what is your triage for when you get items?
It's pretty chaotic, to be perfectly honest. All this stuff here is from a yard sale trail we went on yesterday. My basic system will be now, I will go through all of this, pull out everything that's going to FBA. That will be put in a box and be processed and sent off pretty quick. The rest of it will go on this side of the room in some space. And then when I list, I tend to do things in batches. So I'll do a stack of video games one day. I'll do a whole load of clothing another day, a load of electronics another day. So things can end up waiting for months until I do a batch. But I find it easier to list similar items at a similar time. But there's no real system for it. I've never come up with one, to be perfect.
What about you, Lonnie? Do you use an electronic form of inventory, or?
I do, and it's not ideal. But I'm more like Nick. I keep track of, you know, like how much I spent, you know, how much is coming in, how much is going out, totals. I don't keep track of each individual like $10 item. profit and loss on each individual little item. Really, for the most part, most of the items I deal with are such high profit margins to where I'm not looking to make sure I'm making like a 10% profit margin. I think if you were into, say, retail arbitrage, where profit margins are lower, I think you would really need to keep a tighter look on, at each item's profit and loss. But a lot of the stuff we're dealing with, or I'm dealing with, is like, 10x, 20x profit margin, so I can look at more big picture, and I don't
I have
like
to write
talking
off cost of
accounting.
goods sold.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, I was saying I have to write off cost of goods sold. I can't write off, like if I go to the thrift store and spend $75, I can't write off that I spent $75. I can only write off the cost of the goods that sold for the tax laws here. So I have to keep track of it in a spreadsheet to know what my cost of goods sold are for each month.
See, and here in the States, there's two ways to do it. You can do an inventory system, or you can do cost of goods sold, which you can only realize after it's sold, just like you said. But some people do the inventory system. I do the cost of goods sold. So that's why I keep track as well. And just for me,
that's what I do.
For me, it's easy. Like a shirt will come in, I'll look at it, I'll type in my little spreadsheet. It's a long sleeve, Tommy Bahama, whatever, and measure it real quick and put in, I paid, at that time I take off the price tag and say, paid $1.99 for it. And then, that goes into my selling spreadsheet portion of it where, it goes in and I put in, what I paid for it, what the cost was, what the fees were, what the shipping was. And I end up with a, profit per item. So, but like I said, I'm not dissing anybody's system. Anybody, I'm just curious on what your guys' system is like, because there's always seems to be a better way to do what we're doing, and somebody may have found it and they don't even realize it yet. So, what about you, John? With you having a bigger business, how do you have an accountant that takes care of all that stuff for you?
No, I have trust issues with accountants. I don't know one personally that I trust, because it's just such a big undertaking to just say, hey, take care of this for me. And if you screw up, I'll probably go into jail. So I personally have trust issues with that, but I have spreadsheets for everything. I know what all my online auction sales are. I know what all my eBay sales are. I know what my cost is. I keep every single receipt. And then when it comes time for taxes, I itemize everything as far as basically the IRS has buckets. They've got office supplies. They've got your vehicle write-offs, all these different things. So I total all that up and I do it all through TurboTax. And, it's worked for me so far.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome. And Whitney has said you have OCD issues, so now I'm starting to see that with the numbers. No, I'm the same way. I like numbers, so yeah, I have probably more data than I'll ever need, but I enjoy playing with the numbers. That's just part of the fun of what I do. So, Tonya, what about you? Do you have some inventory system?
Well,
spreadsheet type?
First of all, let me just say, I am not a math person, and the only numbers I like are the numbers in my PayPal account and my checking account. I kind of have a standpoint the same as Nick's. I don't really see the point in keeping up with every little penny and nickel. It's not really necessary in my eyes. My husband does all the taxes at the end of the year or whenever. And so far it's worked out, it's working for us. So, yeah, but I do use that easy auction tracker. I think Joni had mentioned it in the chat. Now, I don't go and check in with it like weekly, maybe not even bi-weekly, but at least once a month I try and log in and, all you have to do is like plug in what you paid for something, and then it calculates everything else for you. So it's really pretty easy. It just kind of takes care of itself as long as I can kind of remember what I paid for something. If I need to, get that information that's there.
Wait, how does that work, Tonya? Can you explain that real quick? Exactly what it does and how it works?
Well, I will try. So you pay, I think it's like $50 a year, and it automatically pulls all of your eBay information, like how much it sold, what your PayPal fees were, and all of that. And the only thing that you manually have to enter yourself is what you paid for the item that sold.
Okay.
and then everything else is automatically calculated. Deb told me about it, so she's been using it for a while.
Does it give you like a yearly report too, or not?
It probably does.
Or do you would probably trust, I guess, the numbers you get from eBay and PayPal and all that more. But I mean, obviously, you'd have to use like the 1099s and all that. But okay, cool. I was just wondering what you did with that information once you get it.
Yeah, you just plug in what you paid for it, and it does everything for you.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
It probably, if I remember right from what I heard, it at the end of the year you can run a profit and loss, and it'll categorize your, what your different things for. Oh man, wasn't me. So
what was that?
Okay. You guys are okay. It's just an offer.
Yeah,
so,
but
are you going to accept it? I mean, are you going to tease us? Are you going to accept it? And do we still?
I don't know. I got an offer on
Andy.
this. I got an offer on this Cutco knife block for $40. What do you guys think? Should I?
That's usually what I send them for.
I'm paying the shipping, and this thing weighs about 6 pounds.
Where's it going?
California. So I live in Illinois, so this thing's going to cost me probably $15 to ship.
Did you charge for shipping?
No,
I
originally listed it for $69 because I figured, I'm going to end up with. Well, I think this guy's already sent me something twice. If I'm not.
How long has it been up?
So.
Yeah,
is this a new thing or has it been up for a while?
No,
he just got it last week. Yeah, I remember when you picked it up.
Yeah, it's only been up
about 2 weeks. You can probably fit that in a medium flat rate box, I bet.
So that's what, $12, 12 something?
12.
Oh, okay, yeah. Actually, this was a guy. He's been sending me $30 ones, and he actually there's terms on this one. It says, "Hey, I just got your message. I understand. Unfortunately, the max I can pay is $40. If that doesn't work for you, I totally understand." Yeah, because I actually wrote him back. Because he kept sending me $30 offers, but with free shipping, I'm going to make about $10 on this thing. And I'm like, I only paid $1 for it. So don't get me wrong. I'm going to win either way on this, but it's like, you know what? Like this thing new, this Cutco block new is well over $100. I mean, them things they're gold.
Yeah.
So I think I'll probably end up just passing because I told him $50 is the best I would do. I said, due to the weight and where it was going. Because like I said, I'm sure that thing's going to cost me at least $15 to ship.
Right.
People in the chat are saying regional B. See if it'll fit in a regional B box. That'd probably.
But even regional B is probably going to. What's that? Yeah. Yeah. But it's still going to be probably, 10 to 12, which is, it's still a little better.
Is it newer? I had one that was a little bit older, and I paid $5 for it. And I am not even kidding. It's set forever. And when somebody made me an offer on it, I jumped all over it just to get it out of here.
I sold one. I think I sold mine for $50. So right where you're talking.
I think Glenn's in the chat. I think Glenn just sold one here not long ago too, or I think it was him that I was talking to one time that he sold a Cutco block for pretty decent. But like I said, them things are solid oak. So they're really nice. And that thing, like I said, I weighed it before I even, did anything with it. And I was like, holy crap, this thing's like almost 6 pounds. I go, it's heavy. But
how
like
big, Andy, would it fit in regional A?
Oh, sorry.
I don't think it'll fit in A. I think it's too thick. Yeah, I think it's too thick. It'll fit in a B, which, I'd be okay with that. But
yeah, but B is a 4-pound rate. I think you're lowballing on 12. I think that's going to be more like $20 to go to California.
Right, and that's what I'm afraid of. If it was going to Indiana or something like that for me, I would be all over it probably because I would be okay. But yeah, California or Texas, something like that, that's going to kick my ass. So I'm just I think I'm gonna.
Where's it at?
I'm gonna do a shot for you anyway, man.
Yeah, why you want to see it?
I want to see it. Let's see it.
I just like his cabinet. That thing is badass, right? Like you slide his wall.
You need to paint fake books on that thing.
Oh my gosh, mine looked just like that. Let's see. It was like that blonde wood like that.
Yeah, this thing's beautiful. And there's not like a scratch on it. That's like how many.
Oh my god, mine looked just like 1, 2. How many slots are there?
This is
7.
Probably a 13.
Oh.
No, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it'd be a 13 slot. Yeah, because it's got the slot.
Oh my god, mine looked just like that. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna go check my solds and see if it's still up, and I'm gonna have to send it to you.
It's gonna cost you $20 to send it to me.
Right.
Just like that, but it cost me next to nothing. That must be some really expensive make.
Oh yeah,
it's
they're
they're
really expensive.
yeah. I've actually never run across the knives, but like I said, when I happened to be at this sale and I seen that block, I was like going, oh, it's Cutco. I'm like going, I heard those are good, and then I go, I think the blocks are like worth some decent money. And I kind of quick looked it up, and I'm like, holy crap! I go, these things are going for like 50 plus, and I'm like going, cool. I go, you know what? I go, and because most people, I think they were doing them around $50, and they were charging about $20 shipping, so it's about in that $70 range. I was like, you know what? I'll just put mine up for $69, free shipping. No one's gonna send this thing back. You know what I mean? But I was like, gotta go, because if they did send it back, they would just suck. But
Right.
so yeah, so I mean, it's not too bad.
Very nice.
But see,
Yeah.
I can at least find everything in my little oddball inventory system back here. I know right where everything's at.
That's great. That's great. So let's see. Do we hit everybody on the spreadsheet? I think we did. So how do you? Okay, here's the next question that I'm struggling with is: do you have like a shipping area, or do you just kind of clear off your desk, bring all your shipping stuff, and do it here? Because that's what I end up doing. I just like clear everything off, then I weigh everything and start wrapping. There's got to be a better way than what I'm doing. So, what do you got, Lonnie? Oh, okay, go ahead, Andy.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in. Yeah, like for me, like I said, I got a full-size basement, so I have a little area where I'm at where I have probably 4 tables set up, and I have one that is basically just dedicated as I don't want to call it like a shipping table or a processing table. And then, you know, like I said, I've been working on organizing and inventorying all my stuff lately, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but like I just started putting all my shipping supplies and stuff like that on this like shelf. I don't know if you kind of see all that right there, but so I've got all my shipping stuff is all kind of right there. And then the little orange thing that's hanging, this little guy right here, this is a
folder.
Yeah, it's a shirt folder, and I got this at a garage sale. I got it at a garage sale for $1. It was brand new in the thing, and it was something that I've always been like kind of. I was like, you know what? I think that thing would be kind of cool, but I was like, you know what? I'm probably never going to use it. Well, I run across one at a garage sale. I used it one time, and I was like, oh my God, I love how this thing works. It makes beautiful folds on your shirts, and when they go in the bags, everything is, and it's really quick and nice. It looks, exactly. Yeah, it looks exactly like that, Dwayne. And I love the thing. It works amazing, and it's super fast. It's way better than I could normally fold stuff. Everything's the same every single time. And then so when I put all my stuff in the bins, it all stacks nice. But yeah, so I got that hanging right here, and then where my laptop's sitting at the moment, that's usually where I do everything. It's just I can pack everything, do all my boxes all right here, and I got all my shipping supplies just right next to me. So
fancy pants.
Yeah, well, that was just one of the things. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yep. I bought one of those folders for my wife because she does my folding because she'll tell you that I suck at folding. I mean, even with the folder, I suck at folding. So she does all my folding, right, and makes it look all pretty. But we bought one and we used it enough that it broke. So we went to buy another one, and we bought one that didn't work quite the same way. It was like half sized. It didn't work. So we ended up having to buy another one. But yeah, she uses it on every shirt. And yeah, they come out just almost, a nice little rectangle fit in a 12 by 15 or a 9 by 12 bag. I mean, just perfect. And yeah,
it works great for like hoodies and sweatshirts too. I mean, it still folds hoodies and sweatshirts really nice. And then you can put them in the 12 by 15 bags. It goes in those really nice. Yeah, I mean, actually, I even folded jeans with them because it shows you on the thing how to do jeans. It does jeans really, really nice. And then you could just tight roll them after that right into I use the padded bubble mailers usually for most of my jeans, but yeah, the thing is, it's slick as heck. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I love it. And
nice.
I mean, I've actually.
What about you?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go right ahead, Andy.
I've actually seen like videos on YouTube and other little hacks where like people actually just make them out of cardboard because you can the way that it's all done up, you can just duct tape pieces of cardboard together and. There's really only like 2 spots where it's really connected. Everything else just folds. So, I mean, I've seen people actually make them, but like I said, for $10 or whatever, I mean, I don't know if you can get them at Walmart or not. I mean, they're not very expensive online. Definitely worth the money. I love the thing.
Yeah, I think I paid 12 from on eBay, and I got to choose the color, something silly like that. So
Have y'all ever made a video on that, Andy? Like, Andy, have you ever had a video where you have the folder? You need to do it, dude. You need to take like a stack of 10 shirts and pop. That'd be badass.
Yeah, right. Yeah, actually, I did kind of start to make one, and then my lighting at the time, it was in the way that I had my camera mount and stuff. I was like, I just didn't like the way that it was looking. I was like, I'm not putting that out. I go, that's going to look like crap. So
it's videos like that, the little videos that you think, really, who's going to want to watch me fold a shirt? They just fly. I've done some random little videos about process, how I package clothing, how I do this, how I do that. They're the ones that get a life of their own on YouTube. It's amazing. Right.
I folded 10 shirts in 18.6 seconds, and then you're going to go viral.
You should make that video, Andy. Yeah.
What about you? Nick, you look like you're kind of in a cramped area. Do you have a designated shipping spot?
Well, this room was our garage. This is attached to the side of our house. We had this converted to interior space, and I designed this to be an efficient space for reselling. So I built this whole side to have worktop. This, I don't know what you're going to be able to see. This is the packing area. And as you can see, it's become a dumping area. But tomorrow morning, the first half hour to an hour, we'll be sorting all of this out. You see what I mean? And creating getting back down to my worktop. And then I've got a photography area down there that also has dumped stock on it. So it's the continual battle of stuff versus space.
Yes.
Right.
It doesn't look.
And I think that's what we all fight that, and that's kind of why I wanted to do the shows. We all fight that. We all have to deal with space issues, unless you're like Andy and have a whole damn basement for his stuff. The rest of us have space issues.
Hey, it's not a warehouse, like some guys.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, we don't rent a warehouse like John, but.
We're not that big time. We've had retail outlets, and we've rented little warehouses and offices, and we're the sort of people that no matter what space we have, we'll fill it up. And getting more storage space just means I will buy more stuff. That's just how it works.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's exactly why my wife will never buy a minivan, because she figures that if you buy a minivan, you have to fill it with kids, and we're not having any more kids.
So instead, you got to drive a Mini Cooper, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A two-seater.
Yeah.
We took our mini sourcing yesterday because my Ford is still in the garage, and we filled it up. But then in my head, I'm in my Ford. So I made this guy an offer on 2 crates of media. And he took the offer, and then Andrea went, "We will not fit that in the Mini." So I had to turn down this really good offer, £10 for about 250.
Oh no!
Because there was no way I could get it in the car. I was gutted.
You have no friends? No friends that come over and say, "Hey, let me borrow your truck? Let me borrow your bigger car?"
We were miles away. We drove a long way to this yard sale trail around the village. So yeah,
gotcha.
There you go. Like I need the stock,
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Well, let's move along, because I don't want to hit everybody on this one. But all right, how do you guys deal with your money situation? I mean, do you have a specific amount that you reinvest? I mean, do you have it organized that tightly, or do you just whatever's in the bank I can spend, or if I want, whatever I want to do with my money I can do, or because I know some people, use this money to pay bills, and obviously some of them. Like me, I pay some bills, but most of mine is, reinvestment money for the most part. So let's hear from Jory. What about you, bud? We can't hear you. I can't.
No, you're muted.
No, he does. He's not muted.
Something.
Jory, we can't hear you, bud.
Oh,
He gone.
Okay.
All right, let's go with I know what Tonya's going to say. If there's money in the bank, she's going to spend it. So that is...
No, for example, I just had a really good sale last night, and I'll probably take that money and send it directly to my savings account. So I'm always shooting money from my PayPal account to my savings account. So I definitely save a lot, and but I also spend a lot too.
what's that S word? Save? I don't do that.
No, what is that?
Yeah, I never. Mine more gets spent. I get that extra letter, spent, not saved. So, all right, Jory, can you talk now?
I don't know. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Hey, there we go. I can't see you, but as long as it's working, I guess. Yeah. So, well, what do we do? Because I work at that storage place full time. That basically covers the bills at home. And then eBay and Amazon, I mostly roll back into the inventory. I take 30% of the profit, though, and I do buy silver with it.
Oh, nice.
That's interesting. Now, why do you buy silver? What's your why is that your choice?
Long-term savings, basically, and I can't be taxed on the profit gains of silver.
Do you think that silver is going to eventually go up in price? Is that why you say that?
Oh, I'm back now. It's starting to storm here now, so I think that's what's happening. Can you see me now?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's storming here, so I don't know if that's probably what's happening. Big old storm starting to roll in.
Gotcha. So Tonya asked about your investment choice. Do you think silver is going to go up in price over the next little while, or what? Is that why you're invest that way?
I haven't seen it go down. I had a buddy who started buying it in high school. He got left basically a big chunk of money from maybe an uncle that passed away or a grandpa. I don't really remember where it was in high school. He bought a bunch of silver with it, saved it, and it ended up paying for his wedding, most of his house. And I mean, you see it go up and down, but for the most part, it's always climbing, especially with new electronics. It's all silver conductors in there and silver circuit boards for your new iPhones, the new S7. And it needs it to be able to work better, right? They can't conduct quick enough with the copper, so.
All Day Deal Grabber says silver's not a good investment as Beanie Babies.
Or Black Diamond VHS.
Good call.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hey, we don't want to
my
be
dad
giving
buys
good
silver like
information out
crazy.
like that.
Yeah, I've got a loft full of Beanie Babies. Anyone want some?
No.
Yeah, I got some Black Diamond VHS you can have too.
Yeah.
My dog likes them because you can throw them pretty good. You know, they got weight to them, so you can throw them. My dog loves them. So, what about you, Lonnie? How does your I mean, if you don't mind talking about your monetary issues, you don't have to give me numbers, but how do you reinvest? I mean, do you have a percentage or is it just whatever?
No, it's actually whatever. I do have a business checking account that actually it just depends. It depends on how much I have in PayPal. A lot of times I'll actually the like direct what do you call it? Like the electronic transfer. It used to take like 3 or 4 days, and now it takes like less than 24 hours. So I've been using that more to get the money in. But what I used to do is I would go to the store and I would buy like a roll of tape and a 12 by 12 by 12 box and then something else. And I would just like, if I needed cash, I would go to the checkout and I would buy one item at the self-checkout and then get 100 cash back. And I buy another item and get 100 cash back and buy another. So that's how I used to get money out of PayPal quickly without paying fees, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But now the transfer to the checking account is so fast, I don't really have to do that as much. But as far as how much am I willing to spend, if the deal is good enough, I will ask Jory to borrow money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, like that's how I feel. If the deal is truly good enough, I will go all in on it. But typically I like to keep it to, you know, X amount of dollars per week, unless I come across something good. And sometimes you do. And when the opportunity arises, you need, if you can, to jump on it. If you're certain, you know, you can't let those pass you by, because that's the kind of stuff that can bring you to the next level, you know?
Well, and I've always called that opportunity money. That's the money you set aside for those when, you know, those awesome buys that if you didn't have that money set aside, you wouldn't be able to afford. And it just makes it so that you have that opportunity to make that extra money.
And that's sometimes when it's good to, have money set aside. Some people may have to take out a loan. Some people may have to do working capital. Some people may have to borrow from Jory. Right. But I mean, you know, it's all about risk. Sometimes you have to take a risk, but in general, yeah, I do. I spend probably anywhere between probably 300 to 500. Probably less than that. Probably on average around 200 to 300 a week, actually. You know, unless something special comes up.
Very cool. Very cool. So we'll go to John because he's got the business. So how do you do yours? I mean, do you have a specific set aside amount, and do you pay yourself a wage?
I do. So I pay myself. I have a paycheck each week. So that's always the standard. And obviously, I've got 4 employees that I pay, and I've got consigners that I pay, and I've got rent and water and all the utilities. So what I do is I have a spreadsheet with all of my bills, all the checks I have to my consigners. So I know how much money is going out. I know how much money I have in my checking account. I know what bills are coming up. So, you know, I've got it broken down to what I can actually spend. I usually go with about $1,000 on Thursday, and usually by Saturday it's gone.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. So, how about you, Nick?
We don't have a set amount we pay ourselves. We tend to keep the money in the business if we can, and we take out what we need when we need it. Because going back to what you said about being an opportunist, I firmly believe in that. So I like to have a wad of cash in the bank, in the business, because it's about taking those opportunities. For example, last September, October, I spent $4,500 on a job lot of stuff. If I didn't have that money available or a way of buying that, I would have missed out on that. And by the time I sold it through, that would have made me about $15,000. So it's all about having money in reserve, or if you have to, borrow it. I totally believe what Lonnie was saying, that you have to take that risk. You have to invest that money or have it available. So we tend to leave as much money as we can afford in the business. So it's there and it's sat there waiting.
Nice. Very good idea. Yeah. It really is important to have that money set aside. I unfortunately don't have that. I have a little bit, but I mean, very little compared to the numbers you guys are talking. But I'm a part-timer too, and I don't work near as hard as Andy as a part-timer. So, but yeah, that opportunity money, and it's not just reselling. I mean, there's times that have in my life where it's been, you know, if I had $2,000, I could make 10, but I just don't have that 2,000 at that time, and you have to pass on those, you know, unless you have an outlet to do it, whether you call the bank of mom and dad and say, hey, can I borrow some money, Dad? You know, I got this great investment, right? But
and sometimes you have to have that money like tomorrow morning or in the next hour. Like that gaming hall that I picked up that ended up having that Atari cart in. I needed that £800 the next day to buy the hall. And, you know, if not, it would have gone. And it's about having that accessible, and that has paid off so many times.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And being organized enough to be able to have that money set aside for that is important, you know, to make your business grow and
I think a lot of it's self-control. We could take so much more out of the business and spend it. We could go on lavish holidays. We could have bought fancy cars in the past. I mean, we just have bought a nice car, but it's not very often. But what I'm saying is, if you are able to leave that money alone, it pays off. But it's not easy sometimes.
Right. Just like Pete in the chat just said, you have to be ready 24/7.
Right.
You know, you have to be able to, and Chad has said it a bunch of times on the talking about the local game, the offer up stuff. If you make an offer, you have to be ready right now with the money in hand to go and take care of that, you know, that deal. And it's very important to have that stuff. So.
But it does make it hard to manage your money because it is very opportunist. I don't know what I'm going to spend each month. I don't know what I'm going to make each month. I don't know what I will be able to pay myself. I've never had a set salary. All of these things can be really hard to juggle.
We got to give a shout out to Mr. Sadie in the chat. He just said, send more money, Mom. I think I got this shit figured out. I'm whenever we say LOL, I'm
That's
usually
awesome.
really am LOLing, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's for true. Yeah, it's true though. It seems like bank of mom and dad sometimes is a lot of people's only option. So, let's see. What else do I got on my list here? Shipping area, reinvestment. We haven't been drinking enough, nearly enough. I mean, nobody's slobbering. I mean, I haven't even had my drink yet.
Let me ask you something, Dwayne. Like, okay, this is a drinking show, right?
Yeah.
So when I think of drinking show, I don't think of necessarily, hey, let's go drink some beers and talk about organization. Yay!
Hey, I just wanted some meat on this because I don't have a lot of time.
No, I like it. It's a good topic. It's a good topic.
I just figured it's something everybody can speak on, and everybody has different ways of doing it. And like I said, it's one of those that, one little thing that I do that you need to do or you think you need to do can change your whole business sometimes. I mean, a lot of my organizational things I learned from.
Wait, I just got a sale, guys.
Did you? What was it?
It is old hospital door signs, operating room, infectious waste, and observation.
What the hell are you
buy that?
I bought it in a job lot from actually a storage. I bought a whole storage unit.
I remember that. Deathly sick after finding those by chance?
Oh wait, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. I bought it at a garage sale. I paid like $1 for all of it, and this is all it is, guys. It's just these little signs that would hang on the doors, like this. And somebody just paid $30 friggin' for that.
Wow.
Plus 30 plus shipping. So drink to that.
I think we just I just say we're not drinking enough, and all of a sudden he has a sale. I think there's something going on.
Fix.
I got to go get another beer because I got already dry.
Oh, all right. Commercial break while everybody goes restocks their movable bar here.
So I made some notes this week, Dwayne, when you brought up this topic.
Oh, sweet, yeah.
I think for people selling on eBay, probably the number one thing that will help them stay organized is listing as quickly as they can.
Absolutely, yeah.
I usually try to always get it within 3 to 4 days when I buy something to get it listed, because otherwise it just becomes a death pile. And it becomes so daunting that you don't even want to try to tackle it. You're like, I don't even know where to start. This is just so much. But if you can stay on top of it pretty well, then I think overall you're going to stay organized.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Unfortunately, I can't say that I follow that, but I know how it's supposed to work. I just don't do it.
I don't always follow it either. I try my best, but I know when I don't do it that I see it affecting my organization and just everything. It's like a domino effect. You don't get it listed, you don't get sales, and everything becomes a mess. And it's just
that's my favorite thing about John's business, though, is like when I first heard of how he pretty much takes that warehouse, fills it up every week, and turns every single item in that warehouse every single week. I was like, wow, that's incredible. And then look, his shit is selling right now. He has probably auctions ending right now, and he's sitting here drinking a beer. I mean, there's something magical. He is emptying his warehouse out, guys.
Right.
That is so freaking cool to me,
Definitely.
So, yeah, there is no such thing as a slow
guys, guys, I got to raise a glass to John, Cincinnati Picker. Today passed 1,000 subs.
Woo-hoo! Hey, congratulations.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. Cheers.
Cheers.
I got to give
Cheers.
I got to give a big shout out to Pete, the Craigslist Hunter. I saw him in the chat, buddy. Dude, thank you for the shout out, man. I think since you mentioned me in your video, I've gained about 400 subs in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's sweet.
That's absolutely incredible. So thank you, Pete. Cheers, buddy.
Wow, that's awesome.
Very nice.
Definitely.
Yeah, Pete gave you the shout out, but you earned the shout out, dude. It was well earned, and you saw it. So
it's funny because Lonnie, you mentioned that I should make a video about baseball bats because you and I were talking about baseball bats, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll go ahead and do this. And it's one of the few things that I kind of feel like I know a whole lot about, and I can really talk like I know a lot about it. And people seem to like it. And baseball bats are one of those things that, guys, if you're not buying baseball bats, you've got to start buying them because they're always cheap. nobody ever wants a lot of money for them. They're always $1 or $2, and you can find some real gems. I mean, some of them sell for $800 to $1,000. Old baseball bats. That's crazy.
I'll tell you what, John, I watched that, and there's no baseball bats in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm watching for him now after that video, yeah.
Right, I even wrote down the name of one, definitely.
But see, the thing is, if you find one, Nick, I'm sure you can sell it locally forever. You know, you got the market right there.
Damn right.
Have the market.
I know what I'm looking for now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Dude, I'm on
Angie
the
has
opposite end of that. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Angie has a quick question that she's asked before that I missed, so I'm going to ask it now. She says, do you take a pic and list the item, or take many pics and do a listing spree? So how do you organize your picture taking, I guess is what she's saying. Do you do one item, or do you take a whole bunch of pictures, then process the pictures, and then do your listings?
Good question.
I batch all mine. Like for me personally, like when I do stuff, especially if I have a lot of like items, like we'll just say if, you know, since I do a lot of clothes, like I'll do polo shirts. I might take 20 polo shirts, and I'll do all my photos and measure them all out. I'll write them all down in a notebook, all my measurements and everything. And then when I'm sitting down, streaming YouTube, doing whatever, watching a ball game or what have you, then that's when I'll just set and I can bang out all my listings, and then it's just sell similar, sell similar, sell similar. You know, I mean, I can pop out them listings super, super quick. So when you batch the stuff, it tends to go, you know, a lot quicker than if I'm doing a polo shirt, then a video game, and then a button front shirt, and then a board game, and then, you know, I'm all over the place. It takes so much longer doing that, or doing stuff like one by one. But yeah, I always try to batch my stuff. I think that's so much more efficient.
I agree. That's what I do. When I like you said, when I buy something, let's say a shirt, I'll bring it in, I'll inventory it, put it on my spreadsheet, take all the measurements right then. Then my wife will steam it, typically. Then I'll take pictures, and I do the same thing. I'll probably take, you know, 100 pictures, not 100 items, but 100 pictures. So, you know, 30, 40 items, whatever, depending on how many pictures for each one. Then I'll dump them all in my computer and crop them and fit them how I want them, fix them however I need to. And then I'll sit down and do, like you do, kind of batch them. Say, okay, these are all long sleeve shirts. I'm just going to go boom, 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 and pull right off of the computer the photos that I've already cropped and everything. So, what about you, Lonnie? How do you do it?
I typically will take like 5 pictures at a time, and then I'll take my little memory card and I'll put it into my computer and download them and do those listings, and then go do a couple more and pull the. I find it's better for me. Like, I could take a bunch of pictures at once, but with me, I find it's better if I kind of change up what I'm doing, like a lot. Otherwise, I'll get really bored really fast. And I mean, to be honest with y'all, I get distracted all day long anyway. But I find that it's hard for me to do any one thing for more than like 20 minutes at a time. So I like to do like take pictures, come over here, list, go back, take pictures, come over here, list. And then in between, I'm, you know, texting John, looking on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. You know. And John's doing it too. I know he is. So
you got to keep it interesting. Personally, I listen to music like all day long. You know, I've got my playlist and I've just got all this music playing. That keeps it fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Nick?
Similar to what Lonnie said in the end, I found a system that works for me is 10. So I will find 10 whatever, toys, 10 electrical items, 10 books, whatever. And I'll go and I'll bash out all the pictures, 3 pictures of each item, or 12 pictures if it's an intricate item, upload those. And then it's like little targets for me. So if I then list those 10, I feel I've achieved something. Whereas if you do big batches of stuff, it's like it's too much and you get bogged down in it. And also I suffer with Lonnie's thing of I've got a short attention span. I'm here and there. That's why my life is sort of chaos. So right. 10 is probably 5 would be better actually. I might start doing 5s, Lonnie.
5 works good because then you don't have to like
list from your phones, or do you guys list from your laptops? Because like me personally, like I list from my laptop. I think it's a lot easier, but I don't know how you guys all do it. If you guys all list from your phones or not. I mean, I've heard, you know, pros and cons. A lot of people can just bang out listings on their phones, but I was just kind of curious how you guys all do that as well.
I do the laptop, and the camera sits on a tripod, and it's direct plugged into the laptop. So basically, I'll put a game on the table. I'll type in Google Sheets, Star Fox 64. Go to the camera, click, 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 click. Loads right to the computer, and then the next game goes on, and that's it. And then I just copy paste it.
Nice.
Very nice.
That's clever.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not a phone person either. I don't even use I have a camera set aside that like I said, I take a bunch of pictures, then I bring it over here, plug it in, dump it, and clear it off, and it's ready for the next time.
Yeah. I see Angie in the chat saying that she does a day of pictures. And honestly, like, if you could just take pictures for 8 hours and the next day list for 8 hours, that would be so much more efficient.
Probably, yeah.
Than what I do, but it's just not a doable thing, for me.
And in a lot of things in life, it's all about small victories. Like you said, if you have this huge mounting task, it'd be awesome to finish it, but all those little small victories keep you going.
You're right. Every time I do a listing, I say, "Oh yeah, I got a listing done." Right. The whole day that Angie is taking pictures, she can't say that. Although it might work for her. But if I did pictures all day and my wife came home and said, "What'd you do today?" Well,
I didn't list a thing.
Did you sell anything? I sold a couple of things. Did you list it? No, you don't feel. But different people's minds work in different ways, right?
But the day that you were listing, you could be like, "Yeah, I listed 55 things today too."
True.
That's true. The key is finding what works for you. Like you just said, Lonnie, that might work for that person. We're all very different. We all have different attention spans. We all have our different sort of OCD tendencies. I know I do. So I've found a system that works in my kind of chaotic way for me. And it's just, I've thrashed it out over 15 years. But it doesn't mean it'd work for everyone else. But
I think that's the overall theme of this whole thing is your system might not work for someone else, but as long as you have a system in place that works for you, that's what matters. You need to have some kind of system in place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you're just in chaos, and your business will run so inefficiently that you may not even want to do it anymore. It's just not working.
I find I play with shit too much when I'm listing it, especially old electronics and computers. And you look, and, damn it, it's been an hour, and tinkering with something, and I haven't even listed it yet.
I start reading comics. I start playing video games.
The Lego's bad. The video games are bad.
Playing with Lego, yeah. Geez.
What'd you list? One Mario game. It works.
But you beat it, right? Jory, you beat the game before you listed it. So you
had a guy
the
return
game all the way through.
And it pissed me off because I was like, I played that game all night. There's no way it doesn't work when he sent it back.
I was going to say,
remorse, I guess.
You guys,
and I kind of think that everybody is a bit OCD. As a reseller, they have to be. It's just, or not maybe OCD, but more. You got so many things going on at once. You can't be, focused on one thing. Most every reseller I know is just like everybody's been saying, Lonnie and Nick. It's like easily distracted. Got to do this. Got to do that. I got to change it up, or I get bored. I think that's just kind of inherently
almost sounds like a marriage. Doesn't it sound like a marriage almost? I hope Candace's still watching.
Yeah, I thought your wife was in the chat there, bud.
I really think some of the personality traits that lead us to this path are the ones we're talking about. It's not coincidence we've all ended up doing this. We have similarities. You know what I mean? And those are the same ones that we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the control thing. It's lack of wanting to be tied down to one way of doing things. I couldn't fit in a job. I couldn't be told what I was and who I was. So, and I think we're all similar in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and like John said, I think the main theme is find a system that works for you. You can take somebody else's system and adjust it and make it work for you, but having a system and making your job, your business more efficient is what's really important. So, well, we've been going for a little over an hour. Do you guys want to keep going, or are you ready to call it quits? I know Nick's probably pretty tired. Was it 2:33 in the morning over there?
2:15.
3:15. Okay. So
250.
Wait. Tonya needs to talk.
No, I'm good.
Tonya, go ahead, talk.
No, it's all good.
I want to hear from Tonya.
Yeah, let's hear from Tonya.
Well, I was just going to say that I'm in the same boat as Lonnie and Nick. I feel like, 5 or 10 at a time is good. So I don't like take a whole bunch of pictures at once. I'll, go through my jewelry or whatever it is I want to list that day, and I'll pick out 5 to 10 items, and that's what I work with. And, whenever I'm done, I feel that sense of accomplishment that I actually got some things done for that day.
And then that's what it's all about, is feeling like you've accomplished something. Because if you feel like you've accomplished something, whether it's a monetary value or a listing, whatever you figure you need to list, that's what keeps you going in this business. Obviously the money does, but those small victories is what really keeps your business moving and makes it interesting. Otherwise, it'll just get stale. So, let's see. Any questions that I did miss? Because I haven't been watching the chat, guys. You guys have been hoping you guys have been watching the chat better than me.
Are you slurring, Dwayne?
Not yet. Come on, really?
I guess we should figure out whose channel is this show going to be on next week.
That's a good question. Yeah, I saw somebody said something, but I'm not sure. Is it who? Yeah.
He said he would host, so.
Okay, so it sounds like Chad, the Golden Finger Picker, will host next week.
Okay.
So that will be awesome. We haven't seen much of him in the show since week 1 or 2. He's been busy and sick for a while and whatever. So
we kind of started this, I think, right before the reseller rally. So he was really gearing up for that.
Right.
And I think it just totally took over his time. So I think that's probably why he hasn't been able to join us a lot.
Yeah, no, and I agree. We'll look forward to that from Chad's channel next week. If you guys are interested, we have a Facebook group that you can like and follow where this is going next. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, we have an auction coming up Saturday, duh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, Tonya.
Okay, so I'm going to be auctioning off some stuff on Dwayne's channel Saturdays. So Saturday night, right?
That's exciting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I've got a little box. I'm just like throwing stuff in there as I find it. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I'm bringing fun items. So and maybe some naughty items. So you'll just have to tune in to see.
Oh shit!
Oh.
See, now look, you just got clicked right there. I'm out. That's awesome.
Tonya's naughty items is the title. Oh shit, Dwayne.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
I got to ask you, man. Like, okay, during your auction the other night, I saw that plate that Chris is trying to sell. One of the last ones.
I'm not going to answer your question.
And I said, if I win the bid.
Oh, okay.
Well, Chris, what?
No, go ahead.
If I win the bid, will you break the plate? And Chris just wouldn't do it, right? Like correct. Instead of getting, because I didn't mind paying like $4 or $5 to buy the plate, but I didn't want to ship the stupid plate. I didn't want to pay for the shipping. I just wanted Chris.
I understand.
I wanted Chris to take that plate and smash it against the wall. And I would have paid him like $5 to do that. So I think we're on to something here, dude. Like, if we get a room full of people and half of them want to buy the shit because they want to collect it and they love it, and the other half just want to see the shit get destroyed, you can have some serious battles here as far as the bidding goes, man. I am so excited. You got to make this happen.
Okay, but here's my question. Here's my question. So you pay me $5 to break a plate. Okay. Why would somebody pay me $6?
Because they want to save.
They're going to see the
They want to see you break the plate.
Oh, they want to save. They want to save the plate.
Okay, save the plate. I mean, it's awesome. And then you can have different weapons. You can have like a sledgehammer, a baseball bat,
like Gallagher or
Gallagher. Dude, where do you think I have? You think I have this unlimited space here that I can bring out sledgehammers and break shit on TV?
Well, I got that big lot of glass shit that I picked up on auction. I can send you like 75 cups if you want. Nice
Dwayne, Dwayne, this is seriously a viral idea that I think this shit could take off, brother. I'm serious.
Right?
I mean, we were talking like instant payment, instant gratification for the bidder. Watching this shit get smashed up live. I mean,
it's fun to do.
You could start this on your channel, Lonnie, with burn it or buy it with your.
There you go. Burn it, buy it, or break it.
Started with the hat. Started with that
the
Norway
highest
hat.
bidder
Burn
gets
it or buy it.
Yeah, whether you burn it or you send it to them.
And then we could actually, at the end of the night, we could hold up like a kitten, and it'd be like,
Whoa!
No, wait, we're falling. We're going way overboard here.
Right?
Yeah,
We're
way
talking
overboard.
with an animal lover here.
I'm an
Reseller
animal.
6-pack does not condone any kind of cruelty to animals.
Right,
But
John?
I mean,
Clean that
that's
up.
just like, that's the idea though, right? Like save the kitten hashtag. And then, you know, they have people bidding on the other side. I'm sorry. Okay. I shouldn't have said kitten.
Yeah,
But
I hear what you're saying. What you'd
I
need
have a
is an
cat.
item.
I have a cat right over here.
You'd need some items that were like really controversial, like or merchandise from a certain band that people are really polarized about.
Yeah.
Do I set fire to this? I don't know.
Donald
band
Trump
poster?
book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I would just say.
Trump
Go
game
political
that-
with it.
That'd be a good
Yeah.
one to do.
So you get burn it or buy it. There you go.
My wife says we can't do it because then she would have to clean it up. She said, "No way." Then I'd have to clean it up.
I live out in the middle of
And she
goddamn
also
nowhere.
says,
We
"Oh,
could blow
here
the stuff
comes
up.
PETA."
Oh shit, Jory, you can blow shit up like with dynamite and stuff.
Yeah, we can blow some shit up, but maybe not with dynamite. Yeah, we live out far enough in the country. I don't think anyone will mind.
What are you talking about? Like shotguns or what?
Yeah, we'll usually shoot it to blow it up, or you know, put things in a microwave with like a 200-foot extension cord.
Oh, Dwayne. Dwayne, you know, I would have loved to see them stupid plates get blown up last night.
I missed it. I have to go back and watch it.
I do too. I caught the very end of it. I have to watch that.
Do a show where
Yeah, no, I think you're onto something. I think Jory should do it since he's out in the country. He could really, you know, take a camera out and just, you know, maul shit out there.
We used to drain the oil out of vehicles and then put a brick on the accelerator and let it run in neutral, and we'd have bets on when it would blow up.
Oh.
And it's crazy. The motor would turn red, the plugs would start melting on it, the plastic intake would melt on the motor before it blew up, and then we'd just burn it where it sat after it was all said and done.
wow.
Yeah. This is definitely your calling, Jory.
Here's an idea for a video, right? You get random stuff, and you're there with your shotgun, and you it's gonna cost the chat $10 for me to shoot this doll or something, whatever it is. It doesn't matter if one person donates $10 or 10 people donate one, and you blow the crap out of it. And you could have
do.
I like it.
you could have a sack full of soft toys, plates, whatever.
This is huge. I'm telling you. This will
Next
really
level
big.
stuff.
Steal this idea, right?
I got a buddy
I'm
with a
just gonna
pigeon
copyright
launcher
this
too
right now.
for the clay pigeon, so we could launch some stuff into the air.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my gosh.
This is big enough to go reach outside of the YouTube
Reseller,
reselling
yeah.
community.
Yep.
This is what you want.
Well, the thing is, Super Chat is relatively new, and I don't think
Yeah,
people
it
have
is.
actually harnessed it yet. But,
No, they
my
haven't.
God, you can use and abuse that system.
I think I got somebody who got $30 for doing something once on Super Chat, if I remember right.
I think it was finishing a bottle of
32
Fireball.
Oh yeah.
Could have been. Yeah, I think it was. And I think I remember
Speaking of
who
which,
paid too.
all right.
Why don't
So
you have
let's-
your super chat turned on, Dwayne? Your super chat
Because
isn't
you have
turned
to
on.
have
Yeah,
you have to have
1,000
1,000
subs.
subs to have.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So,
I did not know that.
All right, Dwayne, so let's do something real quick. Let's do a little impromptu auction. Show me your bottle of Fireball. How much Fireball do you have in your bottle?
Oh God!
Yeah,
Trying to
because I
kill
know
this
what it
man?
looked like before the show.
Don't kill this
Oh,
man.
it's a
No,
full
I'm not
bottle.
doing
That's a full one.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not
too
doing
much.
it.
That's
Sorry.
too much.
It's brand new.
Let's do it next week.
Next week,
Let's
when
do it on
that's about
Chad's
halfway
channel.
down, yeah,
Let's kill him on Chad's channel.
we'll do an auction. We'll do an auction. The highest bidder for Dwayne to finish the bottle.
Oh man,
That channel's gonna be a mess. If I'm streaming from the field too, that means some shit's blowing up.
Oh god. If Chad's watching this, he's like, nope, not gonna host this.
Yeah, he's like, what did I start getting myself into?
Chad's like,
my
oh
God.
shit, my cough is coming back, guys.
Yeah, I don't feel real good right now.
We just lost our host, guys.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh wow. So anyway, anybody have anything else? Oh, actually, Krillin says, Lonnie, I think most people would prefer to pay women to get naked than smash a plate.
Well, I think Krillin doesn't know resellers very well. I mean, if you're a reseller or like if you go to garage sales or auctions, there's always all this glass shit.
Oh, for nothing, for pennies.
And like,
there's so much of it.
At the end of the night, they put it all on one table. It's like the size of a 4x8 sheet of plywood, and they end up selling the whole damn table for like $5. And
the worst part is you end up with it somehow too. You always have some of that shit, no matter what. I go in my storage, and there it is.
Yep, absolutely.
You have to throw it in the bag as you're leaving. Here, take the saucer too.
Nobody wants it.
You know what I almost did a couple of weeks ago? I almost bought this really cool looking military stein. It was like a beer stein, right? And I'm looking at it. Candace is in there with me. I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. I look, and there's a price tag hanging from it. And I'm like, wait, this looks, it was my own friggin' stein. I donated the thing. and I had put it up for sale. I had an antique booth at the time. I put it up for sale in my antique booth. I had the thing for a couple of years. And I finally donated it, and it was a couple months later, and I was about to buy it again.
Nice.
Have y'all ever done that before? Seeing
I've done
the
that
shit
with
you
clothes.
donated, and
Yeah.
I've done it once with clothes, where I bought something, and I was like, oh man, I see a tear, so I take it back, and then, like you said, 3 or 4 months later, I see, oh man, that's a nice shirt. I'll take it home. And it's like, oh, damn it, same tear.
Yep.
So, all right, guys. Well, I think we know where it's going next week. Thanks for all your guys' input, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, depending on which topic we were talking about. What, Jory?
Oh, just reading All Day Grabbers thing. Chad, they're paying you to destroy Selena stuff.
Chad would not.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, never
Yeah,
happened.
that's not going to happen.
But yeah, going back to that idea, that's the sort of thing. Stuff that people really don't want to see destroyed on air. You could say, I've got to get to $50, and then you'll see it happen.
That would be evil, right? You know where I got that idea, Nick? You remember when Zahir a couple weeks ago, Zahir Malik bought that lamp, and I sent him a super chat. He got one super chat for like $4 or 4 pounds or whatever, or 3 pounds or something, and he had paid like 4 pounds, or I can't remember what it was. No, he had paid 4 pounds for this lamp. He got a 2 pound super chat. And then I sent another $2 super chat. I said, there, it's paid for. Smash the lamp.
Yep. And then I started a Save the Lamp campaign in the chat.
Yeah, you guys have already laid the foundation for this.
Damn right. We need to talk.
Oh,
Yes, we got to get a cut of whatever happens here, Nick.
Excellent.
So,
That was a really good chat, Dwayne. It was good.
yeah.
Yep.
All right. And we've got to say Julie, I always hate her last name, Venerum. Her daughter is going in for surgery this coming week, so we need to all keep her in our prayers or thoughts, whichever you do. What was the other thing? Oh, Walking Picker wanted me to remind you that July 9th. Nope. What day is it? July 9th. 8th. 9th. July 9th, he's coming back. I had to look at my calendar. I'm sorry. July 9th he's going to come back with his show. So keep a watch out for some notifications for that. Anything else, guys? I keep asking this. We keep ending up for another 15-minute rant. So anything going on? No? All right, then I want to thank everybody on the panel. I hope you guys had a good time. Thank you all the chat. Looks like we had upwards of 80 people, which is awesome for my channel. So, and if nothing else, we will see you on Chad's channel next week, same time.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Take it easy.
See ya.